Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim Ron, and today we're going to try to figure out what in the world is The Long Dark. Long Dark is an interesting game. It's had a bit of a history, and it's managed to stay relevant after all these years. What is The Long Dark? Long Dark is a survival game, but it's not really like the others. It's a very old title. It's a 2013 title, basically. But before we jump into that, here's a little bit of story. First of all, thanks to the publisher, who evidently enough is also the developer of the game, for providing with the key. That's pretty amazing. Speaking of which, the developer slash publisher is Hinterland Studio Inc. Incorporated. It was founded in 2012 by Raphael Learope. I hope I'm saying his name right. After he departed Relic Entertainment, after he completed his work with Warhammer Space Marine, a game which I really liked, by the way, and it didn't really pick up back then. It was a great game. I played it, finished it, and he went and formed this studio back in 2012. That was 8 years ago. Jesus, we're surviving the coronavirus already, which is pretty good. After a Kickstarter that was successful in 2013, a 2014 early access Steam version of the game appeared on the radar, and it was received relatively well. And for the time, for 2015, this is definitely a good game, but how does it really hold up in today's standards when the market is actually pretty riddled with these types of games? I would say it holds up pretty nicely. The Xbox One version of the game released in 2015. 750,000 copies were sold by 2016, which is pretty crazy. And in 2020, the game was ported into the Switch, Nintendo Switch. And I guess this is the reason why the developer decided to give a few game codes out to YouTubers and reviewers, and critics, myself included, just to bring the relevance of the game back up onto people's radars. And we know that the developer is not really done with the game because they still have a episode 4 and 5 to release, which sadly enough, episode 4 is delayed to 2021. And hopefully we get to see the promised 4 and 5. Otherwise, everyone knows that the game's going to be review bombed on Steam, so hopefully that's not going to happen. Another thing I want to point out about the game is the music is incredible. It is actually produced by Chris Velasco, and he's responsible for bringing us masterpieces from all the God of War games. If you like the music in the God of War games, then you know what I'm talking about. Also, Company of Heroes 2 and many other titles, but probably most notably would be the God of War music. And I didn't know that when I was playing the game, and I was really impressed by the music. But we're going to talk about the audio design, which is incredible, a little bit later. First thing we're going to do, as usual, is take a look at the options menu. You have a few accessibility options, which is really nice. Interaction type, click, press. It's really good. I don't want to press and hold. I would just like to click once and then have the game do it for me. I wish there wasn't even a necessity to do that, and I will get to that in a second when we get to the gameplay. There's a few things I'd like to criticize that I don't really like about the gameplay. Tap and camera motions, it's good if you don't want to have a lot of bobbing, if you have motion sickness. Subtitles and all that, auto walk off. Struggle input type, quick tapping, which is nice. Now we get to the display. So we have resolution, screen mode, units and everything. Pretty nice, not bad. FOV. I've set my FOV to 115, and I'll have to say that maybe the rating of the rating of the FOV is a little bit off because it's not as aggressive as quite literally any other game that I've played. So 115 usually in a regular game would be super aggressive and super fisheye. Not in this game though. And I have checked actually the scaling of the ultra-wide, as you can see. Not only works perfectly fine in the menus, but it also works perfectly fine in the gameplay as well. I did do a few checks. I went from full screen to windowed to borderless windowed, switched the resolutions around. Nothing gets zoomed in, it just gets extended on the sides, which is perfect. and image filter if you want to do some heritage mode in noir, which is pretty nice. And then we're going to go to the quality. A few options here that we can customize, which is amazing. First of all, a few things that are missing. I don't see a separation of the post effects here. Not very good. It says even on there's a description on each setting, which is nice. It can kind of give you an idea of what it will do if you don't know already. However, post effects, it's just a variety of visual effects. It doesn't even tell you what they are. They do make the image a little bit dark. It's like there's definitely sharpening going on here, because when I go back to low, everything's a little bit darker and blurrier. I wish, first of all, if not given the ability to separate them, I do want to know exactly what those visual effects are. Because if it's depth of field, I don't want it. If it's motion blur, I don't want it. But if it's something else, I may want it. Like God rays, for example. Or surface scattering reflection. So that would be nice. But at least ambient occlusion is off for some reason. Yeah, I'm turning it on right now, but I thought that was maybe I thought that was anti-aliasing, but yeah, that's nice. Shadow, draw distance, tree, draw distance. I mean, you can kind of crank those up, but it's not really going to matter because these are all the defaults, and I can honestly say that the game looks fine. Footprints, there are footprints in the game, but no feet, like Halo, which, did Halo not have? I think it was Call of Duty that doesn't have legs. I think Halo has legs, my bad. A decent amount of options here that you can change. Nothing insane. I mean, the game does not look breathtaking. It's not Witcher levels. It's 2015 game levels, so expect that as you go in. Brightness. Now, the sad thing about the brightness is that you can bring it up. I am actually going to bring it up a little bit for this because during the night, and you'll see that in the gameplay, during the night you cannot see anything in the houses, and it's really frustrating because you cannot do anything if you go in a house. If you cannot turn around to find the door again, you're probably going to be stuck there until morning time. So keep that in mind. Definitely bring up the brightness a little bit. And the weird thing is, let's go back here on the options. The weird thing is that it doesn't really affect the daytime. It's not that bad. It's just brighter. It's not just a white filter, which I really appreciate it, but it's not available during gameplay. I don't understand why. That seems like an option that should be available during gameplay, and it is not. So, audio design, I've brought everything down a little bit so you can hear me a little bit better, but I adjust that on the video editing anyway. It does give you the option to change between headphones and speakers, which is really nice. I think one of them is a little bit louder. Controls, you can change a little bit of the smoothing. You can turn it off, thankfully. Aim sensitivity and mouse sensitivity you can adjust. This is pretty good. Key bindings, you can pretty much change a few things. There's no jumping in the game, and I'll get to why that sucks while we play a little bit of the game, but you cannot change a few things, which F5, quick save. That's brilliant, the fact that it has quick save and quick load. Just make sure that you don't accidentally press F6 when you try to quick save, which is pretty nice. You can take screenshots. Perfect. You can change all these except space. I understand, it's fine. It's not like you can jump in the game, and I really wish that you could. And privacy, you can change a few things here. So you have a few modes that you can play. This is Wintermute mode. That is the story mode. It's an episodic one, and you have the 3 episodes available now. There's plans for 5 total. So I don't know. I mean, it's taking this long for episode 4 to come out. I don't know if 5 is going to be bundled with it or if it's going to be another release. It's kind of sad. You have survival mode and challenges. Survival mode is pretty nice. So it saves automatically. I thought it didn't, but it does save automatically. You feel free to exit. I think it's like a quick save thing that you do. But we can do a new one. You can do any of these difficulties, but you can also go custom. And here is custom mode difficulty. This is incredible. You can customize anything your heart desires. You can do anything from the game start, how many resources you have, the environment, health, the freezing rate, sprains and if they can happen, the gear, item decay rate, wildlife and everything, wildlife behavior, wildlife struggle. It's incredible. I haven't seen quite this depth of customization of the difficulty in really any other game. I mean, as far as the Eye was the last game I played that the developers actually implemented a difficulty customization thing, but it was nowhere near as in-depth as this one. It's pretty crazy. And then you can also do the preset ones as well. So Pilgrim, Voyager, Stalker, and Interloper. You can change those as well, which is it's really nice. It is really nice. I definitely appreciate that. So as you can see, like it doesn't change how quickly the day goes by, but yeah, that's pretty nice. You can change that too. Really nice. I did play on Pilgrim because I'm trying to figure out what the game is about. I'm not trying to be a pro at it, but it is very challenging even on the easiest difficulties. You do have some feats here that you can unlock by doing some of these challenges. Obviously, I haven't played nearly enough, even though I've sunk a few hours in the game. I think I've put about 8 hours in the game. It's going to take a long time to unlock them. Got some badges here for the challenges, but challenges is where it's at. I think a lot of people will be playing the challenges after they finish the story mode, which the story mode can get a little bit annoying at times. I'm at a point right now where I'm like, I think I've seen enough to appreciate the story mode and then move into something else. There's some really nice scenarios here. Hopeless Rescue. This one is one of my favorite ones. I'm going to play that next. You basically have to get a distress pistol and fire it from the top of the fireplace. I mean the lighthouse. This is actually a really nice map, and if you think you can travel on the ice, forget about it. It will crack and you will get wet. And you will get frozen. So you need fire. Hunted, that just seems scary. That just sounds incredibly stressful. But as you can see, there's a lot of ones that you can do. There is a maximum difficulty one, of course, and take that with a grain of salt. Some people are going to be amazing at this game, some people will suck. So for me, this seems a little bit more difficult than I would prefer. Is there a one hatchet difficulty one? Can we just try that one? Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Of course, I will suppose that, yeah, you get the badge after you finish each one. And a few more things. So there's challenges and feats here, of course, that you can share them with the challenge survival mode. And winter mute. I don't want to start a new one because it will override my existing autosave. We're playing on PC. I don't understand why we can't have at least like 3 profiles in which that we can maintain our saves. I would have liked to start a new one so you can see what it looks like, but I'm not going to resume either because I don't want to do any spoilers. I'm just going to go back to my survival mode here. I'm going to show you a few things about the game. So I am pretty sure I'm going to be able to see here, but anyway, you got beds that you can rest and everything. It's a straight up survival game. This game is all about survival. As you can see, I am pretty hot and I'm ready to explore. Now, the wolves are going to be making a lot of noise, but just ignore them because they're not going to be doing anything. So I want to go back into this because while you're in your menus and your inventory, it does actually pass time and we want to be hot. So here's a few things. Here's your backpack. Actually, let's start with our main character here. That is a female character, by the way. I know. It's the scent is pretty nice. It's a pretty nice feature. You will attract more enemies, more wolves and all that. So make sure that you're not smelly. But you have warmth, winded, dry mouth. Oh, that's thirst and hunger. So you got temperature, You got exhaustion, you got thirst, and you got hunger. I'll admit that it's not as annoying as the rest of the games that I've played out there, but I'm guessing on the higher difficulties they do deplete a lot faster. So the more arrows you have here, the more rapidly the indicator shows that the resource is falling down, and you can replenish it, or you should be replenishing it. This is your accessories here. This is your clothing. Now, as you can see, you have 2 layers because I forgot to mention this. The game takes place in post-apocalyptic Canada. That is unique. I was reading up on the decision on how to do this game, and the founder of the company said he wants to do a post-apocalyptic thing, but he doesn't want to do the typical stuff. Which, hey, respect to you, my man. I'm gonna be firing up a fire here. Shit, can I start? Okay, well, I wanna melt the ice off of my socks here, so I'm gonna start that, and I guess you can also see what that looks like. Let me see where I should start it. I don't want to start it anywhere. Actually, I could run back. It's too far away. I'm not going to do that. Let's just... I don't think it really matters because I'm still getting hit by the wind. I'm just going to start it here. So, press space. Campcraft, fire. We're going to place it here. We have an igniter. We have tinder. We have the fuel. We're going to do that so we can run for an hour. And accelerant. We kind of need it because the chance of success is going to be increasing to 95. I hope the wolf is not going to be too annoying. And here's our fire. And hopefully it's going to help us melt the ice off of our socks. Okay, so we're going to sit here. I'm going to add some fuel. I'm going to add the book. And then we're going to add some reclaimed wood. There we go. Make it a little bit stronger. Heat output 10 Celsius. It's gonna go up. If it doesn't go to thousands, I'm gonna be really annoyed. 14 Celsius is the maximum. Okay. Now we know. I'm gonna add that fuel. It was a ruined torch. Okay. Is my shit still frozen? It is, but that's okay. I guess I have to figure out actions. Repair. Will it... okay, we're not gonna waste our sewing kits. That's fine. So this is it. You get it. And you have warmth bonus, you have windproof bonus, you have protection, and you have sprint. Some of these things will be better for wind. So this one, it's actually gonna be windproof to 2.4. And this one is a little bit less windproof, but it does protect a lot more than the windbreaker. So you kind of have to decide at that point. If it's windy, you have to switch to this one. But if you want more armor, you have to switch to something that's going to protect you a lot more, which in this gameplay, I don't really need that. But it will keep you warmer. So you're going to have to keep deciding on this stuff. That's the name of the game right there, my friends. Now, we have our inventory here. It's going to be only 30 kilograms that you can carry, but as you get more tired, obviously, you're going to be able to carry a lot less. And there's categories, which is nice. You have fire starting categories. I mean, this is an accelerant. It's not really a fire starter, but this is all fire-related accessories. You have first aid accessories, which is really nice. You do get infections and all of that, so you have to be mindful of that. You have your clothing, which is really nice here. You have your food and drink. It would be nice if there was an indicator right around here, or right around here, or literally anywhere, maybe here, that showed me my thirst and my... Oh, I should probably harvest all of this. Yep, it's pretty brutal when you kill the rabbits. I don't really like it, but what are we gonna do about that? Here we go. It'd be nice if he gave you an indicator, because I have to switch back here. Okay, I'm kind of thirsty. I'm kind of hungry, but a lot more thirsty, if anything else. So I can go in here and I can eat the sardines. Now, I know that this increases my thirst and my hunger, but it doesn't really say. It just gives you the calorie intake that you're going to see here. But you can see it increases my hunger, increases my thirst. but you don't know that until you try it, and that's not the ideal thing to do. Obviously, foods that increase your health, your hunger, and your water intake are going to be a lot more important. You have some crafting that you can do. You can craft arrowhead and everything. This is complete. You don't have access to all of this stuff on the campaign until you actually get to that level. And you have your log, and then you have your map. I don't have a map because I haven't picked it up, but the nice thing is that you can actually travel to all of these places regardless of the location that you choose in the beginning of your survival mode. So that's pretty nice. Let's cook some of this rabbit shit. The rabbit meat. That's pretty nice. And what you actually want to do is I don't have any pots. If you had a pot, you can actually put it up there and it would cook the snow. And it says 30 minutes until burnt. Oh, that's okay. We're gonna eat that. That was pretty quick. This one needs 33 minutes until ready. Interesting. Maybe that was a bug. So there's my water. I'm gonna drink some water. You're just gonna keep drinking until you get full, but water really makes you thirsty. It doesn't make you thirsty, it cleanses your thirst. This is your tool menu. I did find this hunting rifle, but I don't have any. Oh, here we go. Now we can do water on this recycled can, and we're going to cook it. 19 minutes. You can pass time until it's ready, and you can take that. It's pretty nice. My guy's getting tired. 25 minutes left on this campfire. In 6 minutes, we're gonna wait. We're gonna take that. We're gonna pick this up, and we're gonna take a torch. Gonna go back into the house here, and we're gonna sleep. Let's see, sleep until 12 hours, because why not? We're gonna wake up thirsty and hungry as hell. That's the price that we have to pay. Now, okay, there's lights in here, which is really nice, but if the lights were off, this is what you'd be seeing right here. And you see that I upped my brightness in order to be able to see a little bit better, but that's still what you'll be seeing in this room. And that's very annoying, because once you leave the trailer, once you leave the room, you can see, oh, that is pretty. And here is the audio design. You can see everything. There's no shortage of, this is very pretty. This is the first time I actually see this. Wow. There's my campfire. I'm gonna take the charcoal. Why am I surveying local area? How is that? Frozen corpse, vehicle, warehouse. Okay. How did that... Oh. We find new things together, folks. We find new things together. There's a frozen corpse there, actually. He is right here, which is kind of sad. It is empty. So, this is what I wish that I didn't have to deal with the game. The rotating thing, when you click something, like, it takes a long time. This doesn't seem like a long time because I've already done it, but for example, on the drawer, it's not. I have to find something that I haven't explored yet, but it does take a long time. It's a good like second and a half, maybe 2 seconds. Those things add up when you go into a room that has a few things that you have to search. Okay, here we go. Perfect example. In order to enter the vehicle, that actually didn't go, but the glove box. There we go. This is what you have to see a lot of. Driving gloves. I'm not gonna take them. Let's see, anything on the visor? No, there never is. You can see your breath here. FOV goes back to normal when you enter vehicles. There's a few more things. The story mode is not the only thing to do, obviously. You do have all these challenges that you can do, but the majority of the game, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be running around the forest and you're going to be looking for supplies in order to survive the night with a fire. You're going to have to keep monitoring your temperature. You're going to have to keep finding new gear that is going to keep you warm. You're going to have to keep finding food, and you're going to have to keep finding water. In higher difficulties, of course, you're going to be fighting wildlife. This is why this game needs a jump. Why can I not go here? Instead, I have to go all the way here, and there's always a risk that you're going to break your stuff. So, for example, I'm going to get up here. Let's see. It didn't do it now. I'm going to jump over that rock. The character is really flimsy in the sense that you do break your shit all the time, and there is a weight system in the game, so the more stuff you're carrying, the higher danger you have of spraining your ankle. It's actually going to show up as a condition, so there we go. Minor bruising, clothing torn. I don't know what the fuck that had to do with tearing clothes. I just fell off of a rock that was not even a foot high, but here are my clothes being torn, and I have minor bruising. If I was overcumbered, so if I was carrying more than 30 kilograms, which, by the way, all the clothes add up to your backpack weight. So if you're carrying too much shit, such as food, you're gonna have to decide whether or not you want to survive easier or if you want to stay warm. I understand that it adds a little bit of challenge to the game. I would have preferred probably that it was a little bit different, that the weight of the clothes was not added up to the weight of the backpack, because you do have to carry a lot of items that are very necessary. Your stamina does go out quite quickly, but it's fine. I mean, it regenerates relatively quickly, but by the time it runs out, you've reached what you wanted to reach. Can't open that one. Let's see if we can go in here. Maybe if there's no electricity, I can show. Oh, there's still electricity. That's pretty rundown. So here we go. This may not seem like a long time, but when you have to break down shelves, when you have to break down cardboard boxes, when you have to go into a kitchen and look through 15 cabinets, it really does take a long time. And I just don't want to do it. Let's see, tin coffee, we're going to take that. Search meadow. This is what you're going to be spending a lot of the time doing right here. Just searching and searching and searching and taking or not taking. And you will have to make some tough decisions. Newsprint, you're going to use that for fire. This is fuel. We already looked into that. Accelerant, which is pretty nice. I'm getting close to my weight limit here, but this is what we'd be seeing in this room if there weren't any lights. It's not ideal, but I guess the game has the idea of not forgiving, so I understand. I'm not saying that I don't understand. Do I agree with it? Not really, but I understand it. This is nothing here. Okay. There's a little bit of wind now, so your warmth, as you can see, is going down threefold. And you do have to be mindful when you're going out on adventures. That can happen during the day as well. It's not just an exclusive thing about the nighttime. You will find establishments in which you can actually light some fires. I actually fell in the water out there when I was coming back from the lighthouse, so everything I'm wearing is wet right now. That's why it said it was wet and frozen. Go back here. It's not frozen anymore because I did spend the time next to the fire, which is really nice. They do protect a little bit more, obviously, when they're not frozen, so this is pretty cool, though. I really like those colors. I'm glad I picked this map. Well, it definitely captures the feeling that you're in Canada. I've never been in Canada, but after playing this, I definitely want to. And another thing I want to point out is I want to be a little bit quiet so you can kind of understand what the ambience is here. So here you go. I'm starting to get a little bit cold. Obviously, it's one of those games that, even though nothing is happening, nothing is being said, I don't want to be playing The Office on the background to give me company. When I play this game, I do actually play it without any background noise. And a lot of my games I actually play with The Office or Parks and Rec playing in the background just to give me a little bit of feeling that I'm not alone. You will see a cracking warning, like a red icon when the ice beneath you is about to crack, so you're going to have to be a little bit careful with that. I wonder if there's any cabins out here that I can scavenge and hopefully not die. Oh, I didn't break my ankles. That's surprising. The wolves are quite aggressive. Well, yep, there's the ice breaking. If you fall in the water, you do just show up on shore after a brief black screen. So you don't have to worry about that. You'll be fine. There's is that a cabin or is that a... I think it's a cave. Is that a fox? Oh, those wolves. This is the easiest difficulty, so they're actually running away. I wouldn't be able to show you any combat either because I don't really have any weapons. So I have my distress pistol. And we can aim and... Oh, we have to reload. Of course we have to reload. I want to see if I can shoot at a wolf, but the problem is that in this difficulty, wolves will only attack once provoked. And I don't think this does any damage to them. You do have the stones that you can throw at them, which don't do shit, and you have the hunting rifle. I don't have any ammo. And you do drain your stamina of aiming down the sights when you're aiming down the sights, which is interesting. But yeah, that's this is the game. This is pretty much it right here. On the higher difficulty, we'll provide you with a very, very decent challenge. Rest assured, you are not going to be disappointed as far as how difficult the game is. I've played it on the highest difficulty, and I died quite a few times. We unfortunately cannot go up there, I think. So-called make a fire, yeah, make a hot fire. Yeah, okay, I'll make a fire, whatever. Here you go. Maybe on a flat surface. Here it is, accelerant. We are going to use an accelerant. We're going to start the fire. We're going to be like Ryan when he started the fire. Oh, I am burnt because I was on top of the fire when I fired it. How does that make any sense, game? Come on.
That hurts so much.
What hurts so much? Okay, let's see. We need some painkillers and some antibiotics. Okay, fuck. Don't die now. Okay. I don't have it. Okay, I have some bandage. I can use some bandage. Right hand. I don't have any painkillers. I don't know what to do. It's antiseptic. It's not gonna do shit. Antibiotics and water purification tablets. I am SOL. I'm just gonna have to live with it. Hit H will holster whatever you're holding. So, to wrap this up, this is a 2015 game. Technically 2014 game because the alpha came out in 2014. It's been out for a while. It's been out for, let's say, 5 years. We can just say 5 years. Just recently came out on Switch. There's still 2 more episodes to release, and one of them is delayed until 2021. The people said that they could have done December, but they would have to cut on quality, and they would have had to cut on quantity. I think it was either or, and we don't want that. Of course, we don't want that, I suppose. So I'm pretty happy they're kind of sticking to what they want to do and actually following through with it. I respect that. There's not much else to do, but I do appreciate how much content the game has, even though the content of that content is pretty much the same thing. You have to survive and everything. With the challenges, you do have an end goal. You're not just on survival mode, kind of surviving like I am. This is pretty... I'm probably never going to die in this game unless I actually try to kill myself. And I will have to eventually move from this thing to the other. I can only imagine that you will run out of food unless you start hunting the rabbits and skinning them and cooking their meat. You're never gonna run out of water because you can just melt the snow, and there's an abundance of that. So you're probably never gonna die on that one. Oh, 9 minutes. It died already. How much can't sustain this fire? Oh, shit. Oh, interesting. So if it's windy, the fire cannot survive as much. Okay, well, that'll do it then. Maybe you can die in this game if you venture out too far in the wilderness. The maps are not very big, but there are a lot of them, so when you see here, I think I am in Bleak Inlet is where I am, right? Region Bleak Inlet, yep, that's where I am. With the lighthouse. And I can go to the ravine, which is really nice. You can go to all of these places. There's a lot of stuff that you can do in this game, and if you are a survival game enthusiast, you are going to find a challenge here, but you should understand that you're going to a game that is almost half a decade old now, and that's being gracious. I do appreciate everything that it does right. There are improvements that can be had, like, why can we not jump? I do have the button on my keyboard for it, so I think at this time it's a little bit too late to add jumping because you're going to have to change a lot of shit on the consoles and it'll probably be too much work. If they didn't want to add jumping by now, they're probably never going to add it, so I'm not too worried about it. Other than that, the game is $30 on Steam or your regional equivalent, or on Switch, or on PlayStation, or on Xbox, maybe Epic Games. Don't buy it from Epic Games. Just kidding, you just do whatever the fuck you want. That's it. Cannot add fuel to this fire, but it's still outputting 8 Celsius, and it's still keeping me warm, so I'm just gonna chill here for a bit. Actually, yeah, it's done. Too windy. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. Peace.